Greetings and blessings. Today, I want to talk about the subject of family. Family is a very personal subject to all of us, I'm sure. A subject that we want to sweep under the rug all of the ugliness inside of the immediate family. Many of us carry heavy burdens and sadness and even hatred towards people in the immediate family, our loved ones. It took me a lot to want to expose my own personal stories that I'm going to share with you. Now, it's recorded in the Bible, in the book of Matthew. Jesus states that our enemies will be that of our own household. Now, let me start by saying I am in no way trying to attack anyone in my family, make anyone feel less than loved, but I believe that we must bring to light all of the heaviness that we carry. The Bible tells us, like I said, in Matthew chapter 10, Jesus says, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace on earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword." What is the sword? The sword is His word. And His own family, many of them did not believe in His own hometown. They did not believe He was the Christ. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. It would really help spread this message. And I would love to hear your thoughts. So leave a comment below. So automatically he came to bring peace to the earth, but he's telling us he did not come to bring peace inside of the family, because he knows that many will not believe, and it will cause so much division in the immediate families in the towns, because people refuse and reject the love that he offers to all of us. Jesus then says, "For I have come to set man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." He says, and a person's enemies will be those of his own household. So we are seeing so much animosity inside families because of the word, the sword of Christ. The word of his mouth is sharper than a two-edged sword. So what I wanted to share with you is some of my own personal stories that I have in my own family. Now, I've shared many times with you all. If you've been watching, you know that I have a terminal illness. At least that's what the doctors tell me. But we know that God is in charge of when I take my last breath, so I'm not worried. But the fact of the matter is that this is the diagnosis that I have been given, and as I've mentioned many times before, the challenges are endless. But yet, I have my own family who seems to not show any kind of compassion by simply not being concerned with calling or texting or coming by. So there's a lot of hurt and a lot of sorrow, and a lot of pain. And I genuinely pray and love each one of the people that I'm going to talk about. So I don't want anyone to feel attacked or like I'm exposing this own personal, like they say, don't air your dirty laundry in public, right? Well, I believe that we need to talk about these things. And generally, I do a lot of teaching and whatnot on this YouTube channel, but I want to document this stuff so it's on video if anyone wants to go back and watch it, or if anybody that's watching feels these burdens on them, they can relate and they could talk about them inside the family. Communication is critical. Once you lose communication, everything falls apart. In the beginning of my walk with Christ, when I fell away and I came back to Christ about, well, however many years ago, but I was very zealous and I wanted everyone to love and to know Christ. So I constantly probably beat people over the head with the Bible. From what the reception that I was receiving from the ones that I would hope love me, and I'm just trying to share love with them and trying to share truth with them, but I did it in a way where it came across a lot of times what the thing that I say will come across rude or obnoxious or what have you, but that couldn't be further from the truth. So my point is that don't lose communication. So as you know, I've been given this diagnosis of terminal. Now, I don't know how long that's going to be. Could be 14 years, could be 6 years, could be 1 year. I don't know. They don't have a definitive because this is such a rare illness. So in this process, in March, it will be 2 years. So about a year and a half that I've had this diagnosis, and still to this day, I can't grasp or wrap around my mind how my own father, my own dad, has not even been to my house to see me. You can kind of call this my testimony part 2, because at the end of this video, you can watch my original testimony, and that's what started everything, to the point where these people didn't talk to me because they said I shared personal parts of their lives, but I was just simply sharing my story in order that somebody would be blessed and people would come to the light in the love of Christ. So I can't understand, because of that video that I did, caused so much division inside my immediate family that I can't. The only one that can repair all that is the Lord, by the conviction in the heart, by the examination of our own selves, and the forgiveness. We have to have forgiveness. No, I'm not saying feel sorry for me because I'm going through these wildernesses, but I simply can't grasp or understand how the people, my brothers, my dad, my son, seem to not care at all if I die. But all this time, the hurt and the pain and the sorrow is something I wish on no one, because that is a pain you can't understand unless you've been there. The one person in my life who has stood by my side, who I can't thank enough, is my wife. I pray for their hearts to be softened. I don't know why really I'm sharing this with you, but if this resonates with you, share your comments, share it with your friends. But I truly hope and pray that nobody ever has to experience that kind of sorrow, that kind of pain, that kind of hurt, because it's unimaginable. The people that you think are supposed to love you the most wind up to be the furthest thing. And that's why Jesus said, he said, I come to bring a sword. And the sword is his word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So I hope and I pray that this is a blessing for someone, that things in their immediate families can be exposed, can be brought up, can be talked about. But don't lose that communication, and don't beat people over the head with the Bible if you've just been saved. That zeal that we have when we first come to the Lord is so, we want everyone to know. But then you finally start realizing people just don't care about what you believe. They care about how you treat them. And so if I could go back in time, I would have changed everything. I would have been more compassionate, more kind, more loving, more gentle. The fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, self-control. We, as Christ followers, as ambassadors, we are representatives of the kingdom of God. That's a huge responsibility. So I just pray for all of us that we can be better servants, better representatives of the kingdom of God, and that our hearts forgive all of the people that have hurt us, because unforgiveness will, in every relationship that's gone south or gone sour, is always the root and the stem is from unforgiveness, and then pride. So we have to, Jesus told us that if we do not forgive, we cannot be forgiven. So I pray today, if there's anyone in your family, in your friends, in your circle, anyone that you need to forgive them. Go to them and ask forgiveness. If they don't accept your forgiveness, that's up to them. But you have made the effort to be the peacemaker